Hello everyone, here we are discussing the chemical bonding. So here we will continue the formation of polyatomic molecule and their shapes or geometries. Apart from that, various types of hybridization involved in the molecule. So that we will discuss here. So formation of polyatomic molecule generally based on the valency bond theory and hybridization part, and the shapes of molecules including the VACPR theory. So what kind of the geometry we will get? We'll take up some examples here. The first basic example, if we take ethane, C2H6. This is a ethane molecule. It is organic compound. The formation of ethane molecule according to the hybridization. Here two carbon atoms. These two carbon atoms here act as the central atoms. So two carbon atoms will undergo the hybridization. Now the carbon electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. So here one carbon forms single bond with other carbon, and the remaining and they will form a single bond with hydrogens. So for these, if you apply that valency bond theory and hybridization concept, so each carbon is undergoing formation of 4 bonds. So now each carbon required 4 unpaired electrons in the valency shell. So according to the electronic configuration of carbon, we have the configuration of valency shell 2s2 and 2p2. We have only 2 valency electrons are available in the valency shell of carbon atoms. We require 2 more electrons to make 4 bonds around the carbon atom. Now one of the electron will excite to the 2p orbital. This is a 2s and that is 2p. Then the first excitation, we will get the electronic configuration like this: 2s1, 2p1. Now this one s orbital and 3p orbital, they undergo hybridization and they will form 4 equal energy sp3 hybrid orbitals, and they carrying 1 electron. See, these are 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Like these 2 carbons will undergo hybridization and they will form 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Let us take one carbon atom which is having 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. They will arrange in the kind of the tetrahedral manner. This is one carbon, 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Now each orbital carrying 1 electron. Next, another carbon, it also undergo sp3 hybridization and carrying 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. And again this is sp3 and this is also sp3. It is sp3 and this is the sp3. Again they are having 1 electrons. Now first this carbon and this carbon. These 2 carbons undergo overlapping. Due to the sp3 overlapping will take place here, and they will form 1 sigma bond. And these 2 unpaired electrons will overlap each other, and sp3 overlapping, and that will lead to the formation of sigma bond due to the sp3 overlap. So here we will get 1 sigma bond. Next, the 3 sp3 hybrid orbitals, they will make a bond, sigma bond, with hydrogen atoms. Each hydrogen now has 1 electron, and this hydrogen 1 electron, sp3 orbital 1 electron. They will form sigma bond. That sigma bond now it will form due to the sp3 and s overlapping. And here also we have the hydrogen and hydrogen, and they will overlap like it. Similarly here, again other carbon having 3 hydrogens, and these will overlap. And they will form finally the bond like this, and this is a bond due to the sp3 overlapping, and this carbon is having 3 hydrogens, and then all these 3 and the other 3 of other carbon, so all these 6 bonds will undergo the sigma bond formation due to the sp3s overlapping. So we have 1 sigma bond here due to the sp3 overlapping, and the remaining 6 sigma bonds, that is due to the sp3s overlapping. Now overall, the geometry of individual molecule and the hybridization. If you see the hybridization for this carbon Here is sp3. Why? Because we have 4 sigma bonds, steric number is 4. And similarly this carbon, the hybridization also sp3. And the geometry for sp3, the regular geometry is tetrahedral. And each carbon will undergo, it shows the shape of tetrahedral shape. And next, one more molecule here. And the second one, ethene molecule, that is C2H4. Ethene, or it can also call ethylene molecule. Ethene or ethylene. So here ethene structure is like this. Now the central carbon will undergo the sp2 hybridization. Now we have one pi bond also in ethene molecule. The formation, if you see here, again carbon having configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Again around the carbon we have the 4 bonds. Again carbon requires the 4 valence electrons in the valency shell. As like in case of ethane, one of the electron will excite from s orbital to the p orbital. Then it will form 4 electrons in the valence shell. One is s orbital and 3 are the p orbital. Now the central carbon here, it will undergo sp2 hybridization. Means what? 1 s orbital and 2 p orbitals. They will intermix and they redistribute their energies and they will form 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals, or having same energy and geometry. Now one more electron which is present in the p orbital, it will be remains as a pure p orbital, that is atomic orbital. And here these are the sp2 hybrid orbitals and this is the p orbital. Now again 2 carbons will undergo the hybridization like this, sp2 and one having p orbital. Now if we see the sp2 hybridization, that is a trigonal planar type structure. And each carbon is having 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals having one electron, and this is one carbon. Similarly other carbon also having the same sp2 hybridization. And apart from this sp2 hybridization, and carbon is carrying now one p orbital. Generally p orbitals are perpendicular to this one. These are the atomic orbitals. Generally atomic orbitals contains 2 equal lobes, whereas the hybrid orbitals contains one is a bigger lobe and one is a smaller lobe. Similarly this carbon also having one atomic orbital which is having 2 equal lobes. Now this sp2 hybrid orbital and this sp2 hybrid orbital, first they undergo the formation of the sigma bond. So one, there is a carbon-carbon sigma bond between the 2 carbon atoms due to the sp2 hybrid orbitals overlapping. Next, the remaining 2 sp2 hybrid orbitals of one carbon and other carbons. These sp2 hybrid orbitals, and they will interact with a hydrogen atom, hydrogen s orbital, and they will form sp2s overlapping will take place here, and they will form the sigma bond. And similarly here also hydrogen 1 electron and hydrogen 1 electron, s orbital and sp2 orbitals. Next, apart from this, we have the pure p orbitals, and these pure p orbitals are perpendicular to the plane, that is the internuclear axis, and these 2 p orbitals are there parallel to each other. Then here we undergo the parallel overlapping or sideway overlapping, and the sideway overlapping will lead to the formation of pi bond. This pi bond is due to the pp overlapping, p orbital of one carbon atom and p orbital of other carbon atom. Then overall we will get carbon. First it will form one sigma bond, and the sigma bond is due to sp2 overlapping, Next, it will form one pi bond, that is due to the pp overlapping, and it has two hydrogens, and this also having two hydrogens. And now these four hydrogens are bonded to the overlapping of sp2s, and that will result in the formation of sigma bond, sigma sp2s overlapping. So total we have the 5 sigma bonds in that. One is sp2 and 4 are sp2s, and one is the pi bond. Again the geometry, now it is a sp2 hybridization. It is a trigonal planar. Trigonal planar, the geometry of the ethylene molecule here. Next, similarly, we have one more important basic organic compound, that is a ethyne, or we can call acetylene. Acetylene or ethyne. Again, the formation of acetylene or ethyne. C2H2 is the chemical formula for ethyne. We can call acetylene. Again here the structure of acetylene is like this, and it has a triple bond between the carbon and carbon and two hydrogens with single bond. So one is a sigma bond, two are the pi bonds. Now hybridization, according to determination of hybridization, so two sigma bonds are there. So sp hybridization, both carbons are now having sp hybridization. Now the formation, if we see, again the carbon configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Again each carbon forming 4 bonds, so we require 4 unpaired electrons in the valency shell, but we have only 2. Again one of the electron will excite to the p orbital, then we will have now 4 unpaired electrons in the valency shell. Now these 4, out of these 4 unpaired electrons, one s orbital, one p orbital, they undergo hybridization and they will form 2 sp hybrid orbitals. Next, 2 more p orbitals will remain as the atomic orbitals, and these are the kind of px or py. 2 orbitals will atomic orbital, these are the hybrid orbitals. Now see the structure here. Again each carbon sp hybrid orbital, they are linear in nature, and one electron and one carbon of this one, and another carbon also, it has the 2 sp hybrid orbital. This is one sp hybrid orbital and this is one sp, and for this it is a sp, and this is also sp hybrid orbital for other carbon. And carbon also carrying 2 atomic orbitals. These atomic orbitals are perpendicular to this internuclear axis, these hybrid orbitals. So you can draw now perpendicular. Let us assume this is the px orbital having 1 electron, and this also having one px orbital. And also we have one more atomic orbital that is also perpendicular to px and to the internuclear axis. And this is py orbital, and similarly this carbon also having py orbital. Now first there is an overlapping of between carbon and carbon, that is due to the sp-sp overlapping, that will lead to the formation of sigma bond. Next we have one more sp hybrid orbitals on this carbon, and hydrogen electron will overlap with sp hybrid orbital. Again they will form sigma bonds. Now after formation of sigma bonds, these are the pure atomic orbitals. Atomic orbitals always form the pi bonds. Now this px and px, they will overlap each other, form the pi bond, and also pi pi, py py, and they will again form the pi bond. Then overall we will get, so here this will overlap with this one, and it will overlap with this one. Now we have the carbon. First it will form one sigma bond, that is due to the sp-sp overlapping hybrid orbitals. Next it will form 2 pi bonds, and that is a pp overlapping. Apart from this, it will form a sigma bond with hydrogen that is due to the sp-s overlapping. This is sp-os. In total we have the 3 sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds in the S-lene molecule. Again, sp hybridization, the geometry is linear. For sp hybridization, we have the geometry linear. So S-lene is here linear molecule. So this is the formation of these molecules, some organic molecules. So apart from this, we will check shape of the some polyatomic molecules and also number of sigma bonds and pi bonds lone pairs involved in the molecules. Let us see few examples here. If we take carbon dioxide, here carbon dioxide, carbon is the central atom, it will form 2 double bonds. So now we have steric number 2 means 2 sigma bonds. So it is sp hybridization. Sp hybridization means the geometry of carbon dioxide is linear. Now we can see here it has 2 sigma bonds and it has 2 pi bonds. If we count the total number of lone pairs on carbon dioxide, and here each oxygen carries 2 lone pairs. So total number of lone pairs now 2, 2, 2, 2, we have 4 lone pairs on the carbon dioxide molecule. So hybridization geometry, number of sigma and pi bonds. Next, if you take like molecule like ClF3, here the structure of ClF3 is like this, and chlorine carries 2 lone pairs. Now the hybridization 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sp3d hybridization, but it is carrying 2 lone pairs. sp3d hybridization with 2 lone pairs means the geometry should be T shape. Sometimes we can call it as bent to T shape. T shape or bent to T shape. Why? Because these lone pair will slightly bends the fluorine bonds. Then the fluorine bonds will move little tilting may takes place here. Then due to that, we'll get a kind of bent shape here. And next, number of sigma bonds if we see in this molecule, and 3 sigma bonds, and the pi bonds, no pi bonds, 0, and the number of lone pairs. And here on the central atom chlorine 2 lone pairs, and each terminal fluorine contains 3 lone pairs. In total we have 3, 3, 9 to 11 lone pairs on ClF3. Next, if we take the molecules like ClF4 minus, ClO3 minus, ClO2 minus, and ClO minus. In this case, ClO4 minus, the geometry is like this. ClO3 minus geometry is ClO2 minus geometry and ClO minus geometry. Now here central atom, it is surrounded with 4 sigma bonds, so hybridization is sp3. sp3, and there is no lone pairs in the central atom, so regular tetrahedral geometry. And here again it has 3 sigma bonds, 1 lone pair on the central atom. Then hybridization is the same sp3, but the geometry is having 1 lone pair on the central atom. It is a pyramidal geometry. And here ClO2 minus, now it carries 2 lone pairs. So again 4 steric number, 2 sigma bonds, 2 lone pairs. Hybridization is sp3, but the geometry is bent shape or angular or V shape. And ClO minus, now the chlorine carries 3 lone pairs. Again 3 plus 1, 4, sp3 hybridization. But sp3 hybridization with 3 lone pairs, it is a linear geometry. Now total number of sigma bonds, if you see here, we have 4 sigma bonds in this molecule, and the pi bonds 3, and the total lone pairs on the molecule. This is a lone pair on the molecule, each oxygen, and this oxygen carries 3 lone pairs, and the remaining oxygen they carries 2 lone pairs. Now again we have, and this is 6, 3, 9 lone pairs on this molecule. Now here the sigma bonds, 3 sigma bonds, pi bonds, 2 pi bonds, again lone pairs. Here lone pair and the central atom is 1, but on overall molecule the lone pairs, if you count, again this oxygen carries 3 lone pairs, the remaining 2 are 2, 4, 3, 7 lone pairs, 7 plus 1, 8 lone pairs, and 8 lone pairs on this molecule. And next, similar to the this one, sp3 hybridization of sigma bonds. We have 2 sigma bonds, pi bonds, 1 pi bond, and if we see the lone pairs total on the central atom 2, but if we see the overall molecule, and this oxygen, terminal oxygens also have the lone pairs. Now 2, 3, 5, 2, 7 lone pairs. Now this ClO minus and the sigma bond, only 1 sigma bond, pi bonds, no pi bonds, and the lone pairs, if we count, we will get central atom 3 and the surrounding atoms also 3. So total we get 6 lone pairs on this molecule. And apart from this, we have I3 minus, IClO4, BrFy minus. If you see here, I3 minus, iodine is the central atom, one of the iodine, and the remaining 2 iodines are terminal iodines. Now, central atom will carry the negative charge according to the formal charge, and these iodines will carry the 3 lone pairs. In the central atom also now it carries 3 lone pairs. Now first hybridization, it has 2 bond pairs and 3 lone pairs. So total 5 sp3d hybridization. sp3d hybridization with 3 lone pairs. So now the geometry of I3 minus molecule is linear. Now the total number of sigma bonds, the 2 sigma bonds are there, and total number of pi bonds 0, and total number of lone pairs 3, 3, 3. On the molecule total 9 lone pairs. Next, IClO4 plus, here iodine is a central atom, and the chlorines will arrange like this. And it has 1 lone pair. Now 4 bonds, 1 lone pair. There is again sp3d hybridization, but the geometry, sp3d hybridization with 1 lone pair, it is a seesaw geometry. Now we count again the sigma bonds, 4 sigma bonds, and the pi bonds 0 lone pairs. Again each chlorine carries 3 lone pairs around the chlorine atoms. Now 4, 12 and 1, 13 lone pairs on IClO4 plus. And BrF minus, bromine is a central atom, and it has 1 lone pair. Now again 5 bonds, 1 lone pair, total 6, means it is sp3d2 hybridization, sp3d2 hybridization with 1 lone pair. Now the geometry is square pyramidal. It is a square pyramidal. Now total number of sigma bonds here, 5 sigma bonds, pi bonds 0, and total number of lone pairs. Again each fluorine having 3 lone pairs. Like that we have 5 fluorines around the bromine and 1 lone pair on the bromine. So 15 plus 1, 16 lone pairs on this molecule. Similarly, we can take some other examples. Like xenon compounds, xenon difluoride, xenon tetrafluoride, and xenon hexafluoride. Again, xenon difluoride, the geometry. Here we have 3 lone pairs and 2 sigma bonds. Total 5 steric number. So sp3d hybridization with 3 lone pairs, it is a linear geometry. And the total sigma bonds 2 and total pi bonds 0. And the total lone pairs on the molecule. Again, each fluorine, it carries 3 lone pairs. So 3 total 9. And xenon tetrafluoride, xenon is a central atom and it carries 2 lone pairs. Again, 4 sigma bonds, 2 lone pairs means total 6. sp3d2 hybridization. sp3d2 hybridization with the 2 lone pairs. It should be square planar. The geometry of the molecule is square planar. Again, sigma bonds 4, pi bonds 0. Again, the total lone pairs. And each molecule, if we see, and we will get here 12 to 14 lone pairs. Similarly, xenon hexafluoride, again xenon is a central atom. And it has 1 lone pair. 6 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. So that is total 7. sp3d3 hybridization. sp3d3 hybridization with 1 lone pair, it will give a distorted octahedron. The geometry of that one is distorted octahedron. Again, the total number of sigma bonds 6. So 6 and the pi bonds 0. Total number of lone pairs. Again, each fluorine carries 3 lone pairs. So 6 into 3, 18, and this is a 1, 19 lone pairs. And xenon hexafluoride molecule. And next, apart from this, some molecule like is a tetracyanoethylene, and this is called tetracyanoethylene. Then the hybridization of each carbon. The geometry of this compound is like this. And this out of these carbon atoms are having sp hybridization. This is sp and this is sp and this is sp and this is sp. And this middle carbon atom, they are having 3 bonds. So sp2 hybridization and sp2 hybridization. So we have 2 types of the hybridizations here, and one carbon is having sp and other carbon is having sp2. We have 2 types of hybridizations. Now, total number of sigma bonds in this molecule. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sigma bonds are there. Next, total number of pi bonds. So here 2, here 1, 3, 5, and here 2, here 2. Total 9 pi bonds. And total number of lone pairs on this molecule. Here carbon is fully satisfied. Nitrogen has 1 lone pair and this has 1 lone pair. It has 1 lone pair and this has 1 lone pair. So total we have 4 lone pairs on this molecule. And similarly, we have cyanogen. And this is called cyanogen. And the structure of the cyanogen is like this. And 2 carbons in the cyanogen and they are having sp hybridization. Both the carbons are having sp hybridization. Why? Because they are having 2 sigma bonds. Now, total number of sigma bonds in this molecule 1, 2, 3. 3 sigma bonds, and total number of pi bonds here to 4 pi bonds. And the total number of lone pairs, here nitrogen carries 1 lone pair and this nitrogen carries 1 lone pair. So we have 2 lone pairs, 3, 4, 2. In the next we have the other molecules like benzene, C6H6. The structure of benzene is like this. And these are the 6 carbons. In benzene, each carbon will undergo sp2 hybridization. Now, total number of sigma bonds in this benzene, and each carbon will form 3 sigma bonds. So, here within the molecule 6 and the hydrogen 6, total we have 12 sigma bonds. And the pi bonds, we have 3 pi bonds. And the lone pairs, no lone pair on this molecule. No carbon and no hydrogen will carry the lone pairs. Next we have the borazine or inorganic benzene. Inorganic benzene, or this is also called borazine or also called borazole. Borazine or borazole. The chemical formula B3N3H6. Why it is inorganic benzene means the geometry is similar to the benzene, hence we can call it is an inorganic benzene. And if you see the structure of inorganic benzene, it is like this. We have boron and nitrogen, and they'll arrange alternatively in a cyclic hexagonal manner. And boron, nitrogen, they have 1 hydrogen, 6 hydrogens. Now each nitrogen carries the lone pair, and this lone pair it will donate to the boron. Why? Because boron is electron deficient, so it will donate electron to the boron. Now again, the boron here hybridization is sp2 hybridization. Why? Because it has the 3 sigma bonds. Similarly, nitrogen also having sp2 hybridization. So all atoms in the inorganic benzene, they are sp2 hybridization as like benzene. Again, total number of sigma bonds, same like that one, 12 sigma bonds, and the total number of pi bonds and 3 pi bonds. But we have different type of atoms here. One is the boron and one is the nitrogen. And the next we have carbon allotropes, graphite, a diamond, and fullerenes, C60. Here graphite, the hybridization is sp2, and the diamond hybridization is sp3, and the fullerene hybridization it is sp2. And next, cyclic trimer of SO3. Cyclic trimer of SO3. This is also called gamma SO3. The structure of gamma SO3 is like this, cyclic trimer. It is a 6-member ring. Again having alternative sulfur and oxygen. So in case of cyclic trimer of SO3, each sulfur undergo sp3 hybridization, and each sulfur, and they are having sp3 hybridization. Now if you see the sigma bonds here, and in the cycle 6 and each sulfur again carrying 2, total 12 sigma bonds. Now the pi bonds, and here each sulfur carrying 2 pi bonds, a total 6 pi bonds. Again, if you see the lone pairs, now this oxygen carrying 2 lone pairs, and this also 2 lone pairs, and each oxygen here it is carrying 2 lone pairs. We have total 9 oxygens, and 9 into 2, total 18 lone pairs will be there. And this is the sigma pi and lone pairs in cyclic trimer of SO3. And the next we have the white phosphorus. White phosphorus, that is P4. The structure of white phosphorus is a kind of the tetrahedral geometry, and each phosphorus they link in the kind of tetrahedral manner, and it carries lone pairs. Again, here each phosphorus will undergo sp3 hybridization, and overall geometry is tetrahedral. The total number of sigma bonds here, and we have 6 sigma bonds, pi bonds is 0, and the lone pairs here 4 lone pairs. Similarly, we have the S8 molecule, and the sulfur will undergo the kind of crown shape. This is the crown shape for S8. Again, each sulfur it carries the 2 lone pairs, and each sulfur will undergo sp3 hybridization here. The hybridization of each sulfur is sp3, and the geometry, overall geometry is a crown shape. Overall geometry is a crown shape, and the total number of sigma bonds here, and we have 8 sigma bonds, and the pi bonds is 0. The total number of lone pairs, each sulfur carrying 2, and we have 8 into 2, 16 lone pairs. Next we have the boric acid. The geometry of the boric acid here, it is a trigonal planar. Here boron will undergo sp2 hybridization, and the geometry is trigonal planar. And the total number of sigma bonds in the boric acid, 6 sigma bonds, pi bonds 0, and the lone pairs, again each oxygen here carries 2 lone pairs. So 2, 2, 2, we have 6 lone pairs and H3BO3. Similarly, we have the BO3 3 minus. This is a orthoborate ion. Orthoborate ion. The geometry here, we remove the hydrogens from the oxygen, and we will get negative charge. Again, the central atom boron will undergo sp2 hybridization, same trigonal planar geometry, but the total number of sigma bonds 3, total number of pi bonds 0, but total number of lone pairs in this molecule. Now each oxygen carries 3 lone pairs. So 3 into 3 into 3, we have here 9 lone pairs on orthoborate ion. Next, we have other important molecule, borax. Na2B4O7 10H2O. This is called borax, and this we can write in the complex form Na2 B4O5 OH4 8H2. And the central atom boron here, it undergo two type of hybridizations, and the geometry of this spot. And if you see, a boron and in each boron a bond with 4 OH hydroxyls. Then there is a linkage between boron and boron, and this is the geometry of this center part, the coordinating part. And you see that each boron, out of 4 boron, 2 boron, they undergo sp2 hybridization. This is sp2 and this is sp2, and these 2 boron will undergo sp3 hybridization and sp3 hybridization. And next we have sodium peroxoborate. This is one of the important compound. Sodium peroxoborate. Again, the chemical formula Na2H4B2O8. This we can write like Na2B2O4OH4. Now the geometry of this molecule, this part, if you see the geometry like this, boron, it has 2 peroxide bonds. So you have oxygen-oxygen peroxide linkages, and this terminal borons now having 2 OHs. Again, here each boron will undergo the hybridization, sp3 hybridization. 2 borons are having sp3 hybridization, and these 2 are peroxide linkages in that sodium peroxoborate. And next we have solid PCl5. Generally PCl5 in the solid state exists as an ionic solid, and this ionic solid will be present like this in the form of ionic form PClO4 plus and PCl6 minus, and this is the existence of solid ionic PCl5. Here 2 different phosphorus, they undergo different hybridization. In PCl4 the phosphorus hybridization is sp3, and whereas here the phosphorus hybridization is 6 bonds, sp3 D2 hybridization. And similarly solid PBr5, again the ionic form, it exists as PBr5 solid, PBr4 plus and Br minus. Again the solid state, the hybridization of phosphorus, here this is sp3 hybridization. This ion, there is no hybridization for single ion. Similarly PBr5 Pi5 also. So in the solid state it exists as like PBr5 Pi4 plus and I minus. Again this hybridization is sp3. But whereas phosphorus pentafluoride, it cannot exist as an ionic solid. Why? Because due to the smaller size of fluorine, it has a more covalent nature, so it exists as covalent only. So hence the hybridization of the phosphorus here sp3d in PF5 solid. So these are the some various molecules, their hybridizations, geometries, number of sigma and pi bonds involved in those molecules. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.